Welcome to part 2 of our Smart Office series. In this video we're going to dig into some of the key terms and technologies behind the Smart Office. If you haven't viewed part 1, the introduction to the Smart Office, be sure to check that out as well. Okay, let's get started.
The first important term that we already talked about is IoT, the Internet of Things, right? So we all remember the Internet and the World Wide Web, right, is basically made up of computers that are talking to each other, right? And for the last 25 or 30 years, that's all the Internet existed. And so now we have all sorts of devices that are connected to the Internet. Doorbells, thermostats, light bulbs, just about anything that you can think of now can have an IP address and communicate to the cloud, right? And so we have a lot more devices collecting a lot more data. That data is then being stored, and then we take AI and we analyze that data, for example, a smart thermostat, right? And we adjust how it operates based on the information that it's gathered. Very powerful. But now we have a lot more devices, right? Millions of very low-cost devices now all connected in our homes and in our offices. We need more bandwidth. Enter 5G. 5G you're probably hearing about now as new phones come onto the market and all of the major suppliers are building out their 5G networks. We now have the ability to connect to the internet, to the cloud, to all of our IoT devices without being on a private network, on your home private network, or even on your office network. You can access your information and your devices as 5G rolls out without the worry of bandwidth limitation that you often find with traditional cellular data services. And you will also see Wi-Fi also advancing in the office. Wi-Fi 6 is coming out, and so you're also going to see higher bandwidth on your traditional indoor Wi-Fi as well. So now you have more devices, higher bandwidth. We mentioned the cloud, right? So now if we store all of our information in the cloud, all of this IoT device information, we need applications that can now start to drive the AI and leverage that information to improve the business process. And that's already happening, right? We're seeing that transition to Microsoft 365. We use it in our company. It's a wonderful way to have access to all of your email and Teams information on any of your devices consistently across platforms or locations, especially if you travel a bit. So now we have the cloud, we have all of this information available to us to analyze it. So the next term I want to talk about, you may not have heard about, is digital twinning. And so digital twinning is taking data, information about our real world surroundings, and then using applications and technology to replicate that, right? So think of it like a blueprint for a building, right? A blueprint for a building is in many cases, an electronic version of your house or building that you live in. The thing is that it exists prior to the building and then doesn't continue to exist after the building is populated. However, Google Maps, right, and GPS information can give you real-time access, right? And so Google Maps is a digital twin of our driving world, our streets and stores, and it gets populated with more and more information about our world. And you can look on the map and see your home or your office or places that you're going to go, and in real time you could see that changing with information about your car and your location. But it can become more than that. Digital twinning could be utilized to represent your home, right? Or your office building, right? I can gather real-time information from the data and beacon information that's around my office to keep track of where everybody is, what spaces are being used, identify hotspots, cold areas, areas that are being overused, underutilized, so that I can create a more productive workspace, but also a more operationally efficient environment. Clearly, there's a lot of technology behind today's smart office, and it's certainly a lot of information to take in. Be sure to check out the next in our series of videos where we'll take a look and see how this technology combines to improve the operational efficiency and the workflow of your business.